Storm Debbie bringing wet and windy weather across Northern Ireland, northern areas of Wales and northern areas of England with the risk of disruption. I'll have all the details of that and more coming up on Good Morning Britain.
It was incredibly rainy, badly affected. This is just normal autumn on watch this morning.
So we name storms when they're set to cause widespread disruption, but the UK Met Office do it in conjunction with the Irish Met Service and also in the Netherlands as well. So it's actually the Republic of Ireland that named this storm yesterday. They're set to have the worst brunt. They have red warnings in force. We actually have yellow and amber warnings in force. So let me show you the details of what's happening. It's all driven by a very powerful jet stream. Now, the jet stream is this fast-moving ribbon of air high in the atmosphere. It is 200 miles an hour, and the faster it is, the deeper the low pressures can form. So a rapidly deepening area of low pressure, the isobars close together, and this storm, Storm Debbie, is actually the earliest D-named storm we've had. The storm season starts in September. We've only had it for 8 years, naming the storms, but this is the earliest we've had a D. That shows how very wet and windy this season has been, and these are the warning areas. So Northern Ireland, Northern England and northern areas of Wales, the far northeast of Scotland later on, mostly for wind up to 70, maybe 80-mile-an-hour gusts, but it's this amber area that's just been updated for the southeast of Northern Ireland and the northwest of England that could see gusts of maybe 75 to 80 miles an hour. So lots of heavy rain, lots of spray on the roads, and the trees still in full leaf, and that's why we could see this disruption. Here's the details. But even if you aren't within those warning areas, they're chiefly for how strong the wind is going to be. It is a very wet and windy day for many of us today. It is also very mild. Here is our spiralling area of low pressure, and it's within that we have our heavy rain heading all the way back down through England and Wales. But it quickly clears away from Wales and southwest England and then brightening up here through the day. And the focus for the heavy rain then clears from Northern Ireland. So it's Northern England and Scotland that bear the brunt of this storm later on this afternoon. The strongest winds will transfer away, so actually clearing away from Northern Ireland very quickly by the early afternoon and across the Republic of Ireland as well. So by this afternoon, Northern England and Scotland, sunshine and blustery showers. Further south, it is mild, 14 or 15 degrees. Now, very quickly, this whole band of rain clears away overnight tonight, and with clearer skies and the wind starting to ease, it's actually set to be a pretty chilly night tonight. For many of us, this season has been relatively mild, very little in the way of frost, so a chilly start tomorrow, and tomorrow calmer, one with sunshine and showers. Morning to you. Storm Debbie is moving across the UK at the moment. It was named yesterday by the Irish Met Service, Met Éireann, because of the impact it is set to cause today. And actually, it's the earliest D-named storm we've had since we started naming our storm back in 2015. And these are the weather warnings in force at the moment across the UK. Rain across the northeast of Scotland, but it is Northern Ireland, northern areas of England, North Wales that are set to see the wettest, windiest condition today, particularly in these amber warning areas. It's worth pointing out the Republic of Ireland, who issued the warning, they have red warnings in force because of how disruptive the stormy weather is set to be, with a risk to life there. And then we had a band of rain moving in overnight, a very wet and windy start for all of us. This deep spiralling area of low pressure is where the strongest winds will be. And around the back of here, we're looking out for this thing developing called a sting jet, the sting in the tail of the storm, a narrow band, very intense winds that could be up to 100 miles an hour through the Republic of Ireland. That is something they're very concerned about. But lots of leaves and trees in full leaf, lots of branches coming down, the risk of very disruptive conditions on the roads, poor travel conditions because of all the spray. But the rain clears by this afternoon and it's wet and windy across Scotland. So let's see how things pan out as we have through the next 7 days. But it stays very wet and windy all week long. We have a very powerful jet stream, 200 miles an hour, zipping across the Atlantic, bringing successions of weather fronts over the next few days. First of all, we look at our temperatures across the north of the UK, Scotland, Northern England and Northern Ireland. It's actually sitting around below average, so not far away from where it should be. The temperatures are not the important point. It is the rainfall. So there's band of heavy rain around today, further showers and wet and windy weather through the rest of the week. Friday, our driest day, before more wet weather through the weekend. Fortunes further south for England and Wales for the next 7 days. Again, temperature-wise, sitting maybe around about average. But it is the rainfall that is of most concern for most people. Yes, we have the rain this morning, but then it clears, staying pretty wet for tomorrow. Wednesday doesn't look too bad, but more rain through Thursday and on into the weekend. Yes, very wet, very windy this morning, and we have a named storm arriving across the UK, Storm Debbie. Now, it was the Irish Met Service, Met Éireann, that named it yesterday. They will have the worst impact. They have red warnings in force, but for the rest of the UK, yellow for Northern Ireland, Northern England and some northern areas of Wales, but amber for these areas where we could see gusts of up to 80 miles an hour. Here's the band of rain that moved in overnight, a very wet and windy start. The rain already clearing away from the rest, but spiralling around this low pressure where the focus for the strong winds will be as we head through the morning and early afternoon. Worse this morning in Northern Ireland, then through northern areas of England and northern areas of Wales. The rain eases this afternoon from England, Wales and Northern Ireland, but wettest across Scotland and northern England later on this afternoon.